شهر رمضان الذي أنزل فيه القرآن هدى للناس وبينات من الهدى والفرقان فمن شهد منكم الشهر فليصمه ومن كان
Our brothers and sisters, I greet you with the best of greetings by saying Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. We are in the month of Ramadan, the month of blessing. We commenced our discussion on the prevailing negative influence of the social media. We have discussed about what is the social media, what are the opportunities, the positive angle to the social media, and then we have raised our concerns. Now, today, I want to talk about the negatives, the dangers that surround the social media. Now, before what we now know as social media, the electronic media, television, radio preceded it. And when the television came and became very popular, it came with its dangers as well. And elderly people who are about, say, 55, 60 and above, would recall this. Those days, the television houses had to move wrestling from the daytime to a nightly program. Wrestling became a program that was shown in most cases after 11. It was assumed most children will have gone to bed. Why was it so? It was because children were breaking bones. They were getting fractured because they watched male mascaras, the way he will dive in the air to hit the opponent. And they wanted to do the same thing. And you see a young chap who jumped from the rail, wanting to hit another person. And then he landed on the hard surface. And before you know it, he was in the hospital. He had fracture. That was one problem. A pathetic one, I remember, in the Rekpot local government of Kwara State, those days, 2 children, they were playing. And if you remember the Yoruba drama on television of those days, you had these peculiar personalities, Aworo and Fadeyi. Fadeyi was always symbolizing the wicked. Aworo was the powerful, who was more positive. And Fadeyi could shoot Aworo, and the gun would do nothing to him. And these children were practicing. And one said, I'm Fadeyi, you are Aworo. And so Fadeyi went inside and picked the father's gun. Unfortunately, the gun was already cocked, ready to discharge. And he aimed it at a second and pulled the trigger. And before you know it, the corpse of the second one was lying on the floor. He was dead. It took the father a long time before he got freed, because eventually he was arrested. He was accused for keeping gun, live gun. The man had gone hunting and had cocked his gun aiming at an animal, but the animal escaped. He did not recall to discharge that. And that was what happened. Now, you will also recall, even in the print media, we used to have what was called page 3 girl, which was a pathway to nudity. And I remember also visiting for a lecture in a town, and I was settled in an hotel. And when I put on the television, PIM, it was on channel O, I was shocked, which was an indication that the last person who used that room was watching channel O. What is on channel O is better imagined than described. So this tells us that we have the dangers of the electronic media. The electronic media has been there. The dangers have been there, even becoming of the social media. Now, when we have that problem of the social media, now you now hear the dangers the internet is giving us. And some time back, in Daily Trust, there was this popular article, "The internet is leaving children brain dead." inventors were warning Google generation children. You see, those days, if you are a student of mathematics, you know what it took you to learn the log table. You know what it took you to handle almighty formula. I remember what we had to memorize in chemistry. All these things were there. But today, everything is just download. So much that children in primary school, in JSS 1, JSS 2, came home and said, Abu, I want to Google. I said, you want to Google what? What's the concern with Google? Our teacher gave us this assignment and said we should go, and the children will start working. Unfortunately, I did not even know computer until I entered the university. But children are already using that, which is reducing their critical thinking, because problems are being solved for them by the social media. They are not allowed to use their brain personally. Secondly, is the problem of fashion. Children, parents go on the social media to look for fashion. What is trending? Unfortunately, most of what they get is what I call momentary madness of certain individuals. You see your children nowadays, they buy jeans that are already torn. Or maybe they tear it themselves. They put knife and cut it off. They dress, they go out, they wear the upper, the women, something that will not even cover their navel. They wear a knicker that's nearly exposing their buttocks. Or they wear a jeans that they have removed the length from the thigh below the knee. So when you look on the social media, you copy fashion, sometimes you'll be asking yourself, what is the difference between madness and what we are wearing? What is the difference between fashion and sometimes poverty? You don't even know how to classify them. And you see a lot of obtrusive activities of our children. And then you ask yourself, what are the important things our children are looking for on the social media, on the internet? They are looking for the best musician, the richest man. They are not looking for a job. They are not improving themselves professionally. Rather, they are looking at the latest song. They are looking at the most important battle film. They want to watch football on the social media. They are not thinking academically. And the fake life they copy from the social media is extremely dangerous in their formative years. Because if this becomes their way of life, it's going to be very, very difficult to make them change. And again, we should recall the case of a young, promising girl, Cynthia Osokogu, who was murdered through the social media. She was lured, invited into an hotel for business purposes. And the young men met her, raped her, and killed her. These are the dangers the social media give to us. So it gives us real issues to look out for. Number one, you look at the level of falsehood. Unconfirmed reports, individual scheming are released as facts. Recently, I was watching a scenario from the Ukrainian war, and the media was telling us about Russians killing people from Ukraine, and they lay down the corpse covered with polythene. Surprisingly, while the media man was running commentary, one of the corpse in quotes, adjusted himself, lowered the polythene a little, and then quickly was trying to replace it, and somebody ran to the corpse to quickly help the corpse to cover up properly. And I asked myself, who was the editor? This was terrible. But on the social media, not many people even saw that, oh, good God, this is a fake. And it has been exposed. But you go around. So you learn a lot of things. You make matchmaking online. I remember a friend recalled his experience. He met a lady online and they became very close. He wanted to marry her. But along the line, he suspected this girl has some hidden manners. So he now created another account. Different name, different data. Met her online again, chatted her up, proposed to her, and she accepted again. The man said, good God, is this what we'll be getting? You know, faceless friends, no background. You just met, discussed, chat, oh, I like you, I like the way you are responding. Good God, these are dangerous patterns that our children are following. So everybody is busy online. This is another problem. You are never looking up. Even on the road, you meet adults and elders, young children. People are going, you don't know who is meeting you. Sometimes you go on for head-on collision on the road, not vehicle. Because neither the one coming or the one going is looking up. Everybody is looking down, busy, smiling. You know, sometimes you ask yourself, what will differentiate us from madmen? But that ones going on the road, talking all alone, chatting and doing things, everybody will be looking at them. What's wrong with him? But that's what we all do now. Everybody is online. You don't look up. So much that you can fall down. I remember some years back, a student was holding his handset, doing video chat with somebody. Unknown to him, he had reached the gutter. By the time he realized it, he was falling. Instead of controlling himself not to fall in the gutter, he was struggling to prevent the handset from falling. And so with the handset, he landed in the gutter. These are the real issues. That everybody is busy online, even in the house. The husband, the wife, the children, everybody is busy online. The time for talking, for discussing issues are no longer there. We all run on battery to make our noise. Children are no longer learning skills, but they are chatting all the time. I remember one cartoon of a young boy who was attending an interview and he was asked, what is your leadership skill? Only, leadership skill? I'm the admin of 13 WhatsApp groups. As far as he was concerned, that was a leadership skill. And you ask yourself, in the mosque, the imam is doing khutbah. Instead of listening, you are chatting. The khutbah goes on. You are at a lecture. You are just there in body. You are on the social media. In the classroom, you are there in body, but you are chatting. You keep doing it. So that if suddenly the lecturer looks up and says, Abdur-Razaq, yes, he or she does not even know whether I was being asked a question or was asked to repeat what was said last. These are the dangers that we face. That makes it very, very important for us to look out clearly and ensure that we check ourselves. All moral barriers and checkmates are broken. The social media exposes children and adults to evils, and there's nothing you can do to stop it, except you not go there. Children watch without restriction. Yes, you can restrict on your television, but not the television on the handset. The handset is radio, is television, social media, internet, everything put together is now your handset. Unfortunately, you cannot control the handset unless you take it over from the children. And you have to restrict. Even that, the moment they leave you, they can modify the setting. And when they are coming back home, they return your setting so that you won't know. On religious lessons, you see children now going on social media fatwa. Fatwa that sometimes are very, very disruptive, incorrect, and can mislead children. They go online to get all this. So when you have all this, there is a big danger. And that is what I call the culture of continuous exposure. Continuous exposure. You see, when something comes to a community, you start to see it. It's strange, so it's a shocker. People are shocked, then there's outrage. People are saying, why? Why is this coming? Why is this nakedness? Why is this? The next thing is, you go to the stage of discussion. The more you discuss it, the more tolerant you become of it. The more you tolerate, you get to the stage of acceptance. Then you accept it. It becomes the norm. It becomes part of you. The last stage, veneration. You start to popularize it, make it look like, yes, this is the real thing. This is the correct thing. This is the way of propaganda. That's what propaganda tells you. That's the way it gets into your heart. So that things that you earlier considered to be evil, you suddenly see it as part of your way of life. Something. So you can now see how our children are getting exposed to foreign culture. The way they dress. A father was complaining to me. He saw his daughter wore a dress and she was going out, and he called her back. Where are you going? So I want to go and see my friend. He said, dressed like this? And the girl was looking at the father, one kind. What is strange in this? And the father got it. What is strange, Abi? You want to know. Have you ever seen your mother dressed like this? And the girl looked like, but the thing is everywhere. It's everywhere. Meaning, on the internet, on the social media. She has seen people wearing clothes like that. And so today you see on the road, girls wear bedroom dress on the road. Flip-up. Flip-up dresses. You don't even need to put them off. Just flip up and you start. They learn this from the social media. And these are the reasons we must ensure that we start to learn that the evils of the social media, especially lying, now as Muslims, Islam has warned us. Always verify information. When you look at them, you see what they are doing in the marketplaces, be concerned. Don't just copy. Don't be a fool. Don't be ignorant. It is said when a new saying gets to the land of the empty, they lose their head over it. Proof that you are not empty. Do not just copy everything. Inshallah, in our next discussion, we'll look at the steps that can guide us on this prevailing negative influence of the social media. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.